The Onceler was having a very nice evening in his office. He was looking at all the very nice capitalism he had caused. Total environmental destruction was a small price to pay for all the money he got. The Onceler was sat there when suddenly he decided to give a little bit of loving to the old meat rod. Just as he was about to unbuckle his pants, someone tall, dark, and mysterious and handsome stepped into his office. The Onceler scrambled, trying to make it look like he wasn't about to wink. But alas, he wasn't very successful. "Hello," the man said. "I am Dr. Michael Morbius, PhD. I was sent by the Lorax, voiced by Danny DeVito," Michael Morbius said. The Onceler was very aroused at the sight of Dr. Michael Morbius, PhD. Funny enough, the Onceler noticed that Michael Morbius's morbiness was also becoming morbidly erect. "Why are you here, Dr. Michael Morbius, PhD?" the Onceler asked, voice dripping with arousal. "I am here to suck something, or two things. The Lorax sent me to kill you, but I think you're so hot, so we could perform the coitus maybe," Michael Morbius said. "That sounds epic. Let's get banging like fireworks on the 4th of July, the Onceler proposed. Michael Morbius began to morb into his morbidly Morbius form. His face was all twisted and shiz. It was morbidly attractive. "Wow, Dr. Michael Morbius, PhD, you just morphed into something new." "To be honest, it was hot though," the Onceler said. "Actually, I morbed into something new, and call me Morbius now," Morbius said, before moving at inhuman speed to suck all the Onceler's blood from his neck. "Wow, Morbius, you just drained all my blood, yet somehow my little pingus down there is still erect," the Onceler said. Morbius grinned and pushed the Onceler down onto his capitalism desk. Morbius began sucking something. Morbius' morbidly slender fingers morbed into the Onceler's buttocks, and it felt really good, probably. Eventually, the duo engaged in the coitus, and it was so morbing good that the Onceler couldn't help but more bust his nut everywhere. Morbius didn't ejaculate, but he did morb everywhere. Morbius lowered himself to bite the Onceler's neck again, but alas, there was no blood to be sucked because he had already morbed it all up. "Wow, Morbius, that was so hot," the Onceler said. Morbius was almost shocked that the Onceler was still alive. "How are you still alive? I morbed all your blood up," Morbius said. "As long as there is people to exploit using my capitalist ambition, I will never perish," the Onceler replied. "Okay," Morbius said. Unfortunately, the Onceler was wrong, and he died right that very second. Morbius began to cry. Just at that moment, the Lorax entered the room. "Good job, Morbuddy," the Lorax praised. Morbius wiped a morbidly sad tear away. "I loved him," Morbius said sadly. "The Lorax is homophobic, so he punched Morbius in the face and ran away." Morbius cradled the dead body of the Onceler morbidly. Suddenly, the Onceler was alive again. "Hey, Morbaby," the Onceler said. "How?" Morbius said, shocked and stunned so much that he almost began to morb again. "True love has no bounds," the Onceler replied. Morbius leaned over and whispered seductively, in only a way Morbius can do because he is the hottest person/vampire in the entire world. "It's Morbin time." Then they both kissed very morbidly and passionately and morbed together for a solid 28 days, which is also the average time for a menstrual cycle. "You're my one in a more billion," the Onceler cried. "Morbius!" Morbius cried in response. After a brief intervention, they two began morbing together again, and they continued morbing forevermore. Yeah, yeah, guys, that someone wrote that. Why are you here? And call me Morbius now, Morbius said. Before moving, Morbius lowered himself to bite the... As long as there's people to exploit, using my capital... Morbius, Mor began to... It's Morbin time. And they both kissed and morbed together for a solid 28 seconds, which is also the average... Fuck. Morbius! Morbius.